Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I know his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, John 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, the theater war in Pine Ridge goes on unabated. After Lum and Abner announced their grand opening for Wednesday night, Squire Skimp advertised the opening of his Hippodrome for Tuesday night. Now Lum and Abner have gone him one better by announcing a preview or advance showing for Tuesday afternoon. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner painting the lobby of their theater. Lum is just approaching. Listen.
Well, howdy, Lum. Did you make an announcement about our preview over the party line?
Yeah, I made a good one, too, if I do say so myself.
Well, good.
Everybody's listening. I give the fire alarm ring, and everybody picked up the receivers to see where the fire was at, and then I got to talking to them.
He did?
Made the announcement.
Good for you, good for you. Hooray, hooray.
How you getting on with the painting?
Why, fine, I reckon. I've been working ever since you left. Ain't stopped a minute.
Well, that's fine. Wait a minute. What are you doing there?
Well, just painting the box office like you told me to.
Oh, my goodness. I never told you to paint the glass part, too.
You told me to paint the whole business, Lum. I asked you just before you left here if you wanted the whole thing painted, and you said yes.
Well, I never meant for you to paint the windows, too. What do you think I put that glass in there for if we're going to paint over it?
Well, that's just what I've been wondering myself, Lum.
Well, if we're going to paint over it, we may as well use boards or cardboard or something, then a heap cheaper.
Why, sure it would. I don't know what you were thinking about, Lum.
We've got to have that glass for me to look through. How am I going to see the customers whenever they come up to the window there?
Well, now, I thought about that, Lum. And I just figured out that's what you had that little hole cut in the glass for there.
Well, that's to talk to and take money in and hand out tickets and all.
Well, you can see through it, too. Come on in here. I'll show you.
Well, yeah, you can see through it. I know that if you bend over far enough. But you can't see enough to tell who it is buying a ticket.
Well, what do you care who it is buying them, just as long as they shove the money through there?
Well, I'd like to be able to speak to folks whenever they come up to buy a ticket.
Well, they can hear you right through that hole there, Lum.
Yeah, they can hear me, but I want to know who I'm talking to.
Well, just ask them who they are, then.
That'd sound fine, wouldn't it? Somebody come up there and stick a quarter through that hole, and I'd say, who are you? They'd say, John Smith. I'd say, good evening, John.
You mean old John Smith that lives on the old Dilly Honey place? Why, he wouldn't give a quarter to see nothing.
I know he wouldn't.
Well, how's he going to get in the show then? You ain't going to let him in for nothing, are you, Lum?
Why, no, of course not. I just said John Smith. It could have been somebody else if he did.
Yeah, that's right. You can't see very good through that glass. It might have been somebody else. Ed Beckley, for instance, that's about who it was.
Beckley.
Him and John look enough alike to be twin brothers, might not. That is, you don't look at him too close. Yeah, it's old Ed, that's who it was.
No, it weren't Ed Beckley.
It weren't? Let's see, and who could that have been?
It weren't nobody. I just said
it must have been somebody, Lum. Otherwise, how'd that quarter get in there?
What quarter?
The one that they shoved into
that little hole. Goodness sake. What's wrong with you anyway, Abner?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Well, I don't know. Doc Miller says it's a rheumatism, but I believe it's my eyes. They just ain't been right since you brought me that last pair of spectacles and the 5 and 10 cents for that hot springs. You know, all our family, as far back as I can recollect, had trouble with...
Don't start that. I ain't got time to stand here and listen to all your list of aliens. We've got to get this show ready to open tomorrow afternoon. Instead of helping, you're a hindrance. The ideas are painting all that glass over. Keep me busy on doing what you've already done. May as well break the glass out to have it that way. Well, now, what in the world did you do that for?
Well, you said that I might just as well break it out of there.
Well, you crazy idiot. I never meant... Just get out. Give me that paintbrush. Now, get out of here before I lose my patience.
Looks like everything.
What?
Everything's went wrong today. You jump on me. Elizabeth jumped on me over at the place, bawled me out before I left this morning. Just for knocking a pitcher of sardines off the table. I never knowed where my elbow was at. Well, I reckon I didn't know where it was at, but I mean, I forgot about having it there on the corner.
All right. Don't start that now. I can't stand that. Just forget about it. It's all right. I'm sorrowful if I hurt your feelings. I can't stand that whimpering. I know that.
Everything I try to do turns out wrong.
That's all right now, Abner.
Everything.
We'll put a new glass in there and take some turpentine, clean the paint off the rest of it. Just let it go. It's all right.
Well, you want me to get a rag and some turpentine and start digging?
No, never mind. I'll tend to it myself.
Oh? Well, what do you want me to be doing, Lum?
Well, first thing I'd do if I was you, I'd quit leaning again that wet paint there.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Now, Elizabeth, we'll sew a transom sure enough. Clean pair of overalls.
Look, Abner, just sit down over there for a few minutes. Sort of calm yourself down. You're getting all nervous and jumpy.
I hate and despise me. That's what I do.
Maybe you ought to just go on home. Wait a minute. There comes Cedric.
Cedric. Oh, Lum. Don't tell him how come that glass broke out of there.
No, I won't say nothing.
I don't want to be a laughing stock.
No, both of us better be careful what we say. Cedric's still working for Squire, you know.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Well, howdy, Cedric.
Hello, Mr. Abner. Hello, Mr. Lum.
Hello, Cedric.
Boy, that sure is funny.
Funny?
Boy.
It ain't no such a thing, Cedric Weehart. The paintbrush just accidental got run through that window. That's what done it.
What window?
Why, that might... Oh. What did you mean it's so funny, Cedric?
Oh, Mr. Squire's so funny.
Oh,
You ought to see him. He's been having one fit right after another today.
Well...
on account of us coming out with that preview tomorrow afternoon, huh?
Don't get out of here all the time. He'd study up some scheme to where he'd change his grant. Uh-oh. That paintbrush slipped again, sure it was.
What was that?
Just a piece of glass. A paintbrush fell down there and hit it again, I believe, Cedric.
How'd that window get broke?
I told you, Cedric, a paintbrush slipped through it. Don't look at me. That's the truth now, Cedric.
I never said nothing.
Cross my heart. That's what I'll do. I'll look
Well,
right
just
now.
forget about the window.
I know that's how it happened. I've just been scared though with old Squire to figure out some scheme and change his grand opening and lead us to it somewhere rather than open his theaters first.
That's what he's so mad about. He's got everything set to change his opening to tonight.
Tonight?
Yes, Mom, but the films he's going to use got held up somewhere or other and won't get here till late tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon? Well, good for him. Good.
Now there ain't no chance in the world of him beating us at getting our place opened up first.
Why, no.
Well, this is one time we got the best of him.
I told you old Squire'd find out he's up again. A couple of fellers just a little smarter than he is.
And now, let's look in on Squire Skimp for a moment and see how the owner of the Hippodrome Theater is taking this new turn of events. We find him in his office talking to Grandpappy Spears. Listen.
Name of a women's club? Yes, Grandpa.
Yeah, let's see. Only one I know of is the Ladies Uplift League. Charity belongs to it, I know.
Yes, that's the one right there. Grandpap, who's the president of that now? Do you know?
Why, Sister Simpson is, natural. She's always president of it.
Oh, yes. Well, now, here's what I want you to do, Grandpap. And remember now, this is all for the best interest of Pine Ridge. I want you to call Sister Simpson on the telephone there and tell her that you have asked me to bring a vital matter to her attention.
What vital matter is that, Squire?
Well, now, you just call her and you'll see what it is. Here, wait a minute. I'll ring the number for you myself right now.
Yeah, I'd feel better about this if I know exactly what this vital business is.
Well, never mind. Now, you'll find out soon. Now, wait a minute. Here, go ahead. Take the phone.
Hello, Miss Simpson. This is Milford Spears talking. Yes, say, Squire's asked me to...
Oh, no, you're asking me to do this, Grandpap. You're asking me.
Oh, yeah, I've asked Squire to bring up some vital subject for your attention. Well, Squire will tell you what it is. Here, Squire.
Yeah,
I don't
thank
know
you.
myself.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, Miss Simpson.
I'm curious about this.
Yes, M.K. Skimp.
I want to know what it is I don't want him to do.
Well, I really hate to mention this matter, but Mr. Spears here has urged me to do it, and I guess he's right.
Yeah?
In cases like this, we've got to put duty above friendship.
Naturally.
Yeah, well, it's this way, Miss Simpson. See, I'm fully aware of the splendid work that you and your Uplift League are doing for our fair city here. Especially the interest that you're taking in our young people. Well, I mean that sincerely.
What's this pigeon-toed vital matter?
Well, Mrs. Simpson, I suppose you
Mr. Edwards and Mr. Peabody are planning to run a matinee for the children of our town at their theater tomorrow afternoon.
No, Randy made an announcement.
Yes. Well, I don't think, though, that you know the kind of a picture that they're going to run.
Well, naturally, you saw it.
Well, I'm sure I never want a child of mine to see it.
You got no children.
Why, it's a terrible thing called The Vulture's Revenge. About outlaws and shooting and all that. I just shudder to think of a tender child being subjected to such an influence.
Oh, maybe I ought to go see it myself.
Yes, well, I thought you'd want to know that. Well, yes, I believe that would be the proper action for your organization to take. Yes, indeed. Well, fine. By the way, Miss Simpson, naturally I don't want my name brought into this. I'm merely doing it as my duty as a citizen of Pine Ridge. All right, Miss Simpson. Goodbye.
Jimmy Squire, you oughtn't have told her that.
What?
She's liable to try to close up Lum and Abner's picture show.
Why, surely she would never get an idea like that, Grandpap.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
Now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, this is the day that Lum and Abner are to open their theater with an afternoon matinee for the children of Pine Ridge. It's also the day that Squire Skimp plans to stage the grand opening of his Hippodrome Theater in the evening. As we look into the little community today, we find the old fellows inside that theater with a large crowd out in front. But judging from the looks on Lum and Abner's faces, something has gone wrong. Listen.
Doggy, just look at that crowd of young'uns out there, Lum.
Yeah.
I never knowed there's that many in Pine Ridge.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't let them in to see the show.
Well, why don't we just let them in anyway?
Well, we can't do that, Abner. We'd get in bad sure enough then.
Well, Lum, we got to do something. They're all standing out there waiting. I'll bound you there's 200 children out there. I don't know where they all come from.
Well, even they've been standing there for 4 hours.
Yeah, I know it.
Hell, I reckon I may as well go out there and tell them the show's called off so we can get this thing straightened out.
Why, sure, they'll be breaking down the door if the first thing you know there.
Well, better open it up, and I'll get up on this chair and try to explain it to them.
Dad, blame that Sister Simpson anyway. I hate that woman to pieces. Her and her fancy Uplift lead.
Well, go ahead and open the door.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Just a minute, please. Quiet, everybody. Let's have it quiet.
Lom's going to make a speech.
Ladies and gentlemen and children,
I'm scared.
I've got an announcement that I hate to make, but it just looks like there ain't no way out of it. We advertised a free matinee for you children this afternoon, and we aimed on doing it. I hate to disappoint you, but the Ladies Uplift League of Pine Ridge come over here in a body a while ago and told me and Mr. Peabody that they wouldn't allow us to show the picture at all. Can't even show it in Pine Ridge. Now, we saw the picture ourselves and can't see no reason why they could object to us showing it, but they do.
It's an awful good picture, too. It's about a girl from a city, and her uncle died out in Arizona and left her a ranch.
Yeah, but they don't want to know about the picture.
Well, I just thought Beans ain't going to get to see it. I could tell them about it.
Well, quit interrupting me.
Oh.
Now, folks, I can't tell you when we'll be opened up. We was aiming on having our grand premiere opening tomorrow night, but I don't know now whether they allow us to have that or not. Might have to wait till we get a different picture to run. But to make up for this disappointment, the first night we're open for business, we'll let you all in free. We'll let you know when we can have our grand opening. Much obliged for coming out today, and we're sure sorry about it. Close the door, Abner.
Yeah.
I never hate to do anything so bad in my life.
Why, you could just see them young'uns' faces drop clean down to their stockings. Poor little varmints.
Oh, I could see their eyes puddling up.
Yeah, I could have might now puddled up and cried myself over it.
Like giving them something and then taking it away from them.
Yeah.
Feel downright ashamed of myself over it.
Well, I do too, but of course it weren't our fault, Lum.
No. I hope that dadgummed Uplift League's satisfied now.
Well, what all did they say anyway, Lum? Wished I'd have been here when they come.
Well, directly after you went home to eat this noon, the door opened and in marched Sister Simpson, followed by the widow Abernathy and Mose Moots Woman and Elvira Seastrunk.
Huh.
They handed me a rolled-up piece of paper, throwed their heads in the air, and marched out.
Well, I do know. Never said nothing.
No, not a word. They had it all wrote out. Here, let me read you what the note said. I got it here somewhere.
I bound you that's the first time Sister Simpson ever went anywhere and never jabbered her head off.
Here it is. Yeah. It says, we, the members of the Ladies Uplift League of Pine Ridge, do hereby resolve that the picture known as the Vulture's Revenge is not a suitable picture for the young folks of our community to see, look at, or gaze upon.
Thank you for that.
We therefore demand that Mr. Edwards and Mr. Peabody refrain from showing said picture in their theater. Signed. And then all the members have signed their names to it.
Well, I do know such women.
Might not every woman in town, including your woman, Elizabeth.
Well, Elizabeth?
Yes, sir, right there. Elizabeth Peabody. Read it
Let
for
me
yourself.
see that. Let me see it. I doggy, that's her handwriting, all right. Well, she never knows what she's signing on. I tell you, that woman will sign anything that anybody brings to our door. Just loves to sign stuff. Ever since she learned how to write her name, she loves to write it.
Well, she ought to start reading things before she signs.
I know it. Had to have the whole dining room and kitchen paper. She started writing on the wall over a trail list, just writing her name. Loves to do it.
Pity sakes.
Yeah, well, I'll have a little talk with her. Maybe. I think about it. Of course, now, Lum, I don't see yet how they can keep us from showing that picture where mine's to do it.
Well, I don't think they can, legal. But
well, now, let's not let a batch of women folks run our business here, Lum. Now, we're on that theater, and we can run it to suit ourselves.
Well, Abner, we can't afford to get the whole town down on us right at the start before we even get opened up.
We can't, huh?
Well, no. Might not every woman in town belongs to that Uplift League. They might set a boycott on us.
Boycott? Is that pretty bad?
Well, it ain't good.
Where's he called?
Boycott.
Huh?
What it means is that they might make another resolve at their meeting not to never come to our show.
Oh.
If they wouldn't come, they wouldn't let their families come neither. So that'd stop our picture show forever.
Well, if they ain't gonna let us show no pictures, Lum, why they couldn't come to the show no way.
And what I still can't understand is how they could object to a picture they never even saw before.
No telling.
I don't know whatever give them the idea that this was a picture young'uns oughtn't to see.
I don't know. I never seen nothing out of the way about it. And I ought to know. I saw it 6 times already. Ain't nothing in there that no young'un oughtn't to see. I'll tell them that right now.
If they'd ever see it, they could see for themselves that there's a good lesson for the young'uns to learn in it.
Why, sure. Learns them how to shoot and everything.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, it shows that crookedness don't pay. You gotta be honest and upright in all your dealings.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does that. I'll say it does that. Doggis, we just ought to bring all them women inside and make them look at the picture for themselves. That's what we ought to do.
Wait a minute. That ain't a bad idea, Abner. Why didn't we think about that before?
Well, I did. I just now thought of it.
I mean, why didn't we think of it while the Uplift League was down here?
Oh, well, I weren't here then, so I couldn't have thought of it.
Oh, well, it more likely wouldn't have worked no ways.
Wouldn't?
Oh, they'd be too stubborn-headed, I'm feared.
Yeah, Sister Simpson's stubborn. Stubborn as a stump on fire, that woman is.
Yeah, they wouldn't change their minds after they come out and declared themselves this way.
No more likely. And here's something else, Lum. If they're going to object to this picture we got, this Vulture's Revenge, why, they'll more than likely object to anyone we bring out here to show.
Yeah, I know it. I'm getting disgusted with the whole thing. We may as well just close up our show for good right now.
Well, I sort of hate to do that, Lum, after us spending all the money we have.
Yeah, me too, but it just looks like everything in the world has happened to keep us from opening up.
Yeah. First, it was Squire's camp. Now it's a ladies' uplift league.
Well, Abner, it just looks like every time we go into anything outside of the store business, everything goes wrong.
Yeah, it does.
You just stop and think about it. The only money we ever made was right there in the Jot 'em Down store.
Yeah, that's where we've done the best, right there.
Every time we go to drilling for oil or digging for gold or any of these other big ideas you get in your head, well, we lose money.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Maybe we'll just stick to the store and never get into nothing else.
Well, now, Lum, I said time and time again that right there is where we've made our money. Wait a minute, there comes Grandpappy Spear.
Oh, yeah, Grandpap. He don't know how lucky he is that he got out of all this show business. Open the door for him.
Yeah. He never lost no money in it like we're doing, neither.
Yeah, howdy.
Yeah, howdy, Grandpap. Come on in.
I thought you fellers would be over here. I seen the door was closed up.
Yeah. Well, it looks like our picture show's closed up, too.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, fellers. It's a shame.
Worse than that.
I told him that that's just about what had happened, though.
You told who this had happened?
Squire Skimp.
Squire?
I told him Sister Simpson and them women would more than
Squire Skimp?
Wait a minute, Grandpap. You mean Squire knowed about us getting closed up for whatever happened? Well, no, but yesterday he asked me who was president of the Ladies' Uplift League, and then he had me call Sister Simpson up on the telephone and tell her that I wanted Squire to talk to her about a vital matter.
That you wanted him to talk to her?
Yeah. It weren't my idea, though. Fact is, I never even knowed what the vital matter was till after Squire got done talking to her and telling her what a terrible picture you fellers is aiming on running.
Did he tell her that?
Oh, yeah, he give her an awful line there about how it'd ruin our young'uns' future lives and all that junk.
Why, that snake in the weed.
Grannies, I might have knowed Squire was at the bottom of this.
Grandpap, why didn't you come over here and tell us about this yesterday?
Oh, I don't know. I never thought no more about it.
Yeah,
I told him, though. I said that pigeon-toed uplift league might just close you fellers show up tighter than a drum. But he didn't think so. He just sat there and laughed.
That ornery varmint. That overhanded critter. That's what he is.
I think he's going to have his grand opening premiere tonight. Ain't a thing we can do about it.
Why, no.
Just have to sit here and suffer.
Doggy, I might, and I wish that theater of his had burned down. That's what I wish.
Well, Squire ain't having his premiere tonight, though.
He ain't? Well, this is Tuesday night, ain't it?
Yeah, but you know he's having trouble getting his films here.
Yeah.
They promised he'd get them late this afternoon, and now they tell him he can't get them for tomorrow afternoon. Late.
Well, I do know. You hear that, Lum?
Oh, say I heard it. Come on, let's get on over to the store. We got some phone calls to make.
Phone calls?
Yeah, I'm going to have a little talk with the Ladies' Uplift League. I believe I can straighten a couple of things out there. And you're going to make a public announcement.
I am?
Yes, sir.
Well, what about?
About the big free matinee show we're putting on tomorrow afternoon. Aye, Grannies, we're going to beat old Squire after all.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, Lum and Abner's Theater opened this afternoon with a free matinee that drew a capacity crowd. Tonight, however, they have a nearly empty house as everyone has gone to the opening of Squire Skimp's Hippodrome. And so Squire is getting all the paid admission business. As we look in on the little community today, it's late evening, and we find Lum and Abner at their theater. But two customers are just leaving. Listen.
Yeah, well, good night, Grandma Masters. Night, Grandpa.
Good night, Lum.
Take care of yourselves.
Hey, hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, I reckon we may as well close the picture show up and get on home ourselves.
Yeah, may as well, I reckon. We ain't gonna have no more customers tonight. I know that lady to tell you.
Yeah. 50 cents.
Huh? What'd you say, Lum?
Nothing. I just said 50 cents.
Oh, interesting.
Well, that's how much we taken in today.
Oh.
Our first big day in the moving picture business. And if that ain't a fine howdy do. A fine how do you do, I must say.
Yeah.
50 cents.
We had the theaters plumb full this afternoon when we put on that free matinees. But as soon as we started charging admission, why, we just get 2 customers. Grandpa and Grandma Master.
Well, I believe that's where we made our mistake, Abner.
Getting them here?
No, everybody saw the picture for nothing this afternoon, so naturally weren't coming back tonight and pay to see it.
No, that might have had something to do with it, all right, might have. Yeah,
Everybody in town's over at Squire Skimp's theater, the Hippodromes.
Yeah.
We got ours open before he did, but I'm afraid it weren't worth it.
I know. We can't go and run the whole picture off just for 2 people, I bound you we use up more than 50 cents worth of electricity to run that machine of a night.
Of course we did. Whereabouts was Elizabeth and Mary tonight? So surely they'd be here.
Oh, well, they couldn't hardly make it tonight, See, they're over at Squire Skimp's show tonight.
Elizabeth went over there?
It went right after supper, so they'd be sure and get a good seat,
Well, that's a fine thing. Your own woman going over to her competitor's place of business.
Well, see, both her and Mary saw our show this afternoon.
Yeah, I know, but they could have come back again, made it look like we had a little bitty crowd here anyways.
Yeah.
Granny, poor old Grandpa and Grandma Masters look sort of lonesome sitting down there on the front row all by themselves.
Oh, yeah, they did, sort of. It was sure nice of them to come to our show, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the only reason they come here was because Squire's place is on the 2nd floor. See, they went over to Squire's place first.
They did?
Well, yeah, they never knowed it was in the old lodge hall upstairs there, and Grandma weren't able to climb them steps on account of her hip.
Oh, so that was the reason. Well, there's one advantage we got over Squire, having ours on the ground floor this way.
Yeah, well, we'll get all them that can't climb them steps over there, but I hate to just take the leavings that way.
Why, sure, can't run on 2 people, no.
I got awful lonesome sitting out there in that box office all evening by myself.
I know I had to wake you up when I come out there to tell you the show was over a while ago. You were sound asleep,
Was I sure not?
Yes, you were.
Something's got to be did, Abner. We can't go on this way, I know that. It ain't even paying expenses.
Well, what can we do?
I don't know. Just don't know.
I don't either.
I reckon the best thing for us to do right now is go on home, get some sleep, and then see what we can study up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a good idea, You got the key to lock up here with?
Yeah, got it in my pocket here somewhere.
Oh, good. I feared I might have lost it or something. I couldn't find it. Lock it up good, Mom. Don't want them to steal that picture show machine of ours.
Yeah, that's it. 50 cents. What a day. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Say, on our way home, why don't we just sort of swing around by the lodge hole there just to sort of see what kind of a crowd that Squire's got over there?
What do you mean, swing around by?
Well, just walk around that way. Instead of going straight home, go by his place.
I wouldn't mind to walk by there. I don't want to swing by there.
No, well, that's what I mean. Just walk around there. It's just a little ways up the street. Ain't much out of our way.
We got to be sure not to let Squire see us, though. I'd hate to give him the satisfaction of seeing us hanging around there.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give him the satisfaction to nothing. I wish we had something to disguise ourselves with. Or I wish I could change myself into a little mouse. That's what I wish.
A little mouse?
Yeah. Then I just run inside there and see that picture Squire's on. Just sit there and I'll eat cheese and look at the picture show. That looks like an awful good show he's putting on there.
Yeah, it does, sort of. Be right honest, I've just been busting to see that picture, Abner, but I wouldn't go inside that place for all the money in the whole world. Couldn't drag me in there.
Well, maybe we could disguise ourselves, dress ourselves up to where nobody would know us.
You mean like rats?
No, any kind of a disguise. I don't care what it is.
Well, if we could do that, it'd be all right, but I know we can't.
I tell you what, I got that Halloween witch's costume over at the place, the one I borrowed from Grandpappy Spears for a Halloween party here a few years back. I could put that on, nobody'd know me. Man, I could sneak in there if that don't know.
Yeah, fine lot of sneaking around you doing a witch's costume. Everybody think you's part of the show and get to watching you instead of the picture.
No, but that might be a good idea. That'd make old Squire mad, Lum.
Well, we ain't trying to make him mad, are we? Well, he'd never let you inside there in the first place with a silly outfit like that on. That'd never work.
Let's see. I could get Cedric's baseball suit, put that on. That don't disguise a fella very much, Joe. Unless I turn the cap around backwards when I walked in, he'd think I was walking out and wouldn't notice me.
I might could wear a pair of them dark sunglasses and pull my hat down over my face to where nobody wouldn't recognize me.
Well, you couldn't see the show, though, Lum, not them smoked glasses that you got.
Yeah, that's right, ain't it?
Why, that's no good.
Granny, I wish nobody around here knowed me. No, I don't mean it.
Let's see
Well, I
now,
said
what
that
could
in
we
the first
do?
place.
Ought to be some way we can get in there. Let me study now. Let's see.
Well, wait a minute. We ain't going inside. No way.
Huh?
No use to study up disguises for ourselves, because I wouldn't be caught inside his picture show even if I was dead. That's one place I ain't never going in.
Well, you'll never get to see the picture if you don't go inside. You can't see it from the
I
street.
don't want to see it. Hardly. I don't think. Leastways, not as long as Squire's running it, I don't.
Oh.
Wait a minute. We better step back in the shadows.
Huh? What's the matter? What's the matter?
Here's the place.
Oh, well, I never noticed we got this far already.
Look at that sign up there with the doorway where you go upstairs. M.K. Skimp's Deluxe Hippodrome Theater.
Huh.
Adults, 20 cents, children's 5 cents.
Yeah, he just put his prices down low so as to take all the business away from us. That's what he
Sure
done.
he did. But we're going to keep ours right at 25 cents and a dime per young'uns.
Donkeys, I sure would love to know
High
what's
class
going on
place we're
inside
running.
there. Give anything to see that picture he's got.
Yeah, so would I. But we ain't going to find out.
Now, I wish I had a big long neck like one of them giraffes so that I could peek in one of them upstairs windows up there. Then I could see it.
Well, you ain't no giraffe, though, so we may as well go on home.
No, thank goodness. Wait a minute. Oh, look at that tree there.
Hmm?
That tree.
What's wrong with the tree?
Well, nothing's wrong with it, but look how them limbs go right up next to that window there. I believe if we was to climb
Now,
up...
wait a minute. I've just stopped right where you're at. We ain't climbing no trees. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I just thought it'd be a good way to see the picture.
Of course, now, on the other hand, maybe we ought to see what our competitor's doing.
Yeah, we ought to know them.
Maybe we ought to keep an eye on him. That's just good business.
Why, of course it is. Awful good business.
That's the only reason I do it for, though. Just for business reasons.
Oh, natural, me too. Well, come on. I tell you what, give me a boost up to that first limb there. I believe I can make it all right from there if I can just grab that limb there.
Yeah. Be awful quiet about this.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Here we go.
Up you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Got a good horse there?
Yeah, I'm all right now. Yeah. Here, give me your hand and I'll help pull you up a little bit, Lum.
All right. Don't you slip, though.
I won't. Come on, give me a hand. Up we come. Yeah, there you are.
Jeez, that's hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just rest here a second.
Well, come on, Lum. Let's just climb up one more branch here, and I believe we can see inside the window.
I ain't going up no further.
Well,
As far as I can go right here.
You can't see nothing from here. We're up here. We want to see the picture. Come on.
All right. Hope they ain't got the curtains pulled clean down.
Yeah, they got the curtains down, but they don't quite cover
Well,
them.
hold on to me there. Don't be looking at the picture. Pull me on up there.
All right, I was trying to see if I could see in the window there. Yeah, I believe we can see all right. We can see the feet of them. The shade ain't plumb down to the bottom of the window. Look there, Lum. See there? He's walking across the room. Yeah. There comes some girl walking towards him. Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Here, stand right here beside me and take a look for yourself, Lum.
Oh, look down there.
Huh?
Ain't that Squire standing down there by the door, smoking a cigar?
Oh, Toby, I believe that is him. Yeah, that looks like him. Reckon how long he's been standing there.
No, not long, no. More like they just stepped out for a smoke.
Yeah. Reckon what we ought to do now.
Quiet. You more likely go back inside.
Don't reckon he's seen us, do he?
Oh, he'd be hauling his head off if he'd have saw us.
Oh, yeah, he'd be mad.
Yeah, looky there.
Huh?
He's putting out his cigar and going back in the door.
Good for him. Good for him.
By the way, Lum,
Lum?
I think you and Abner will be much more comfortable watching the show inside than you are perched up there in that tree.
Oh.
Hey, come on down. I'll find you some good seats right in the front row.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down at Pine Ridge. Well, last night, after Lum and Abner closed their picture show early on account of no customers, they sauntered by Squire Skimp's Hippodrome Theater to see how their rival's premiere was going. Their curiosity aroused, they climbed a tree to peek in the windows, only to be spied by the Squire, who politely ushered them inside to see the picture. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their shot-em-down store and library discussing this most embarrassing event.
Well, I tell you, I never was so humiliated in my life. Sitting there in the front row of Squire's picture show, right where everybody could see us.
Yeah, well, we was right down front, all right. Ain't no doubt about that.
But after Squire caught us up in that tree, peeking in the windows of his theater, I never knowed what else to do but just follow him inside like he suggested.
Well, facts is, he just might not insisted on us going in.
I never knowed how to get out of it.
No.
I couldn't have thought of nothing to say then if my life had depended on it.
Well, I reckon there wasn't much to say.
Worst part was him stopping the picture and turning on the lights while he marched us down to them front seats.
Yeah, that was awful nice of him, wasn't it, to be sure we didn't stumble going down the aisle.
Well, that ain't why he done it. He just done it to embarrass.
Oh.
I'll never get over it neither. Be the laughing stocks of the town, that's what we're going to be.
Yeah. Doggy, that sure was a good picture, though, wasn't it, Lum?
Good picture?
Yeah.
You mean you actually sat there last night and watched the picture?
Why, sure. I don't know when I've enjoyed anything as much.
Well, if that don't beat the bugs a fight.
It was about a card player named Blackie Sampson, and he got a rich man on a big boat into a game of cards of some kind. It weren't authors or old maids, I know that. I don't know just what the game was, but...
but don't tell me about it. It makes me blush clean to the back of my neck just to think about it. Besides, that was our ring, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it was. So Blackie and this rich feller, they started playing this game of cards, and then the feller's pretty daughter come in.
Just a minute. Hello, jot 'em down, store and library and picture show. Mom? Oh, yes, Miss Pomeroy, we're having the same picture tonight. Vulture's Revenge.
Tell him about the picture if you want to talk on the phone.
Oh, you did? Well, maybe you'd enjoy it more the second time.
Yeah, tell her also at 6 or 7 times long.
Yes. Well, I do know. Well, much obliged for calling. And goodbye.
Hey, that Pomeroy's coming to the show tonight?
No, they've already saw it. Just like everybody else in town has.
Yeah, nobody seems to want to see it again. I believe we made a mistake in having that free matinees, Lum, and then trying to run that same picture for 4 days here.
Yeah, I know good and well we did. They run them that long at the Lyric Theater and they're at the county seat sometimes, but it won't work here.
I don't believe it will.
Special not with Squire running a new one already.
A new one?
Yeah, that's what Miss Pomeroy told me just now on the phone. She said he was advertising a brand new picture for tonight.
Why, that snake in the weeds.
Well, it looks like he's got the right idea there.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to get all the business, too, Lum.
Yeah. We're stuck with that picture of ours. We just have to study up some extra stuff to get the folks to come to our picture, even though they've saw it already.
Some extra stuff?
Yeah, like them bingo games or giving dishes away.
What'd you say, Lum?
That was our ring. I thought it was.
Did you say something about giving dishes away?
Just a second.
Oh.
Hello, jot 'em down, store and library and picture show.
What do you want to do?
Why, it's a Vulture's Revenge, Mose.
You don't got no extra dishes.
It's the same one, but it's an uncommonly good one. You will? Well, good for you. All right, Mose, we'll be looking for you. Yes, sir. Yeah, save a good seat for you.
I save it for the toy.
Yeah, much obliged.
Room to lay down in there.
Goodbye. There's a fine feller, you know it.
Who was it, Mose?
Yeah. Him and his woman never seen the show yesterday. Had to work.
Oh, well, leastways we'll take him too, Abner. Uh-oh. That's right.
What's the matter?
Well, nothing, except Mose was one of the fellas that you give a free pass to, Lum.
Oh, that's right, I did.
Yeah.
Wish I'd have thought of that so that wouldn't have been so nice to him. We may have to run that whole picture just for him and his woman.
Yeah. Well, why don't I just call him up and tell him how the picture comes out, and then we won't have to bother opening up tonight, and we can go over and see that picture of Squire.
Well, we gotta keep open some way. We ain't gonna sit back and let Squire get all the business, I can tell you that right now.
Well, what about that idea you was talking about, Lum? That sort of sounds like a good one there. Giving dishes to everybody that comes in our picture show.
Oh, yeah, I got that idea from a trip I made to Little Rock once.
Well.
They had a theater there where they advertised they was giving different stuff away different nights, you know. One night it was a basket of groceries.
Well, we could do that.
The next night they give away something like $15,000.
$15,000?
Yeah, held over from the week before, I'd say. Called it bank night, I think.
Well, Lord, Lum, we couldn't give nothing like that away.
No, of course not, but that shows you right there what kind of money can be made in the picture show business if you just put your mind to it.
Well, it sure does. Right, doggy. giving $15,000 to everybody that comes to the show. I don't see how they can make no profits that way.
Well, no, they don't give it to everybody. Just the lucky winners is all.
Oh. Well, we'd still be losing money, though.
Well, we won't do that, don't worry.
Well, good for us.
Then one night this theater in Little Rock advertised China Night.
China Night?
Yeah.
You mean they give away Chinese ones?
No, China means dishes. They give away dishes.
Oh, I see. More likely than they were serving that there chopped up soy stuff in the dishes, Lum. That's the Chinese food, you know. Of course, we'll have to stick to baked beans and potato salad, I believe, though.
Baked beans and potato salad?
Yeah, we can't give them too much now, Lum. After all, we're just charging them 25 cents to get in, and Luke Spears charges more than that for that businessman's blue plate lunch over there.
What are you talking about, anyway? I never said nothing about giving food away. Just dishes is all.
What, Lum? You ain't gonna get nobody to come out of an evening if you just give them an empty dish.
Well, you don't get the idea of this,
I know. When you hand a feller a plate, Lum, he wants something on it to eat. Ain't nothing he can do with an empty dish. Ain't gonna help none just 'cause you're handing out to him in a dark theater, Lum. It won't fool him.
I know it won't, but we turn the lights on when we do that.
Yeah, that's a better idea. Turn the lights on. Everybody saw the picture anyway. I'll tell you, let Grandpappy Spears play the player piano while they eat. Maybe play some games after they get done eating.
Oh, stop right where you're at. Now, we ain't giving no food away. Special not after them slides we've been running on Food Fights for Freedom.
Huh?
Oh, I guess you ain't saw that.
I reckon not.
Run it down there. We're going to run it just before the newsreel.
Oh, no, I ain't saw it.
Well, I wish you could. It shows how important it is for us to save on food. Not waste none of it. Preserve all the stuff we can. And put in our own gardens and work on farms and all that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell Elizabeth about that farm stuff. That woman ain't got no beat when it comes to field work.
Warren's folks are getting paying more and stealing prices for food and buying them in places where they don't ask for no food stamps. Black markets and such as that. Them things help cause the prices to get out of hand.
Yeah, I reckon I ought to charge if I hire Elizabeth out to do field work around here.
It tells how we got to share our food with our allies and with all our boys that's doing the fighting.
Yeah.
Got to keep them fed to where they can whip anybody they come up against.
Sure.
That takes a lot of food. Just like that old lettered saying of mine, our army travels on its stomach.
I reckon Elizabeth could plow 4 or 5 on his stomach.
That's the way the saying goes.
Well, you'd think that'd be awful hard on their uniforms. They must keep wearing them out in front that way. Who give them that idea anyway?
Well, that don't mean they actually get down and
you
travel.
You take old Fatty Thompson, he's in the army now, Lum. He'd never get no place with that big stomach of his. He'd just get to rocking and stay right there in one place.
Well, Abner, I never meant... Wait a minute, there comes Cedric up out there.
Cedric, I wish he'd stop snooping around here long as he's still working for that Squire scheme.
Well, he don't mean no harm, I don't think.
No.
It's best not to say too much around him.
Why, no, he'll run right back and tell Squire everything we said. He's awful about it.
Howdy, Mr. Lum. Howdy, Mr. Abner.
Hello, Cedric. What do you want?
Well, I believe I'm in trouble, I think.
Trouble?
Yeah, what have you did now, Cedric?
Well, you know I signed a contract with Mr. Squire to work for him at $10 a week, and now all he's paying me is $2.50.
I could have told you something like that had happened when you went to work for that snake in a week.
Well, I want to know if there ain't some law in some of them books you got, Mr. Lum, that says I can get that $10 somewhere.
Why, sure there is, ain't you, Lum?
Well, it depends on different stuff. Have you got the contract with you, Cedric?
No, Mom, I can run home and get it told.
No, never mind. Get it in, and I'll look it over for you.
This one.
Abner, there ain't no use to look at that statute book. Have to have the contract first.
Well, there might be something in here. Ordinances.
Ordinances.
Would it be under that?
I don't think so. Not them ordinances you're looking at, no way. Them was all made way back in 1903, so.
Doggies, they must have been. Listen to this. Said it's against the law for a feller to drive an automobile down the main street without somebody going along in front carrying a red flag warning everybody that the automobile's approaching.
Yeah, I saw that near myself.
Here's one here. Listen to this. Here's another. Says, it shall be unlawful to hold a theatrical entertainment in any building above the ground floor because of the fire hazard. Any violation of this ordinance shall be...
Wait a minute. Wait a minute there. Did that say above the ground floor?
Yes, I know he's Lum. The lodge hall's on the 2nd floor, and that's where Squire's running that picture.
Okay, no more.
It's still a law, Lum.
Yeah, it's never been repealed. But don't say no more now on account of EDRIC.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cedric, you better run on home now and bring that contract in sometime when you're coming by.
Yes, Mom.
We'll see you later, Cedric.
Yes, Mom, but wait a minute. I heard what you read in that law book there.
Uh-oh.
What I want to know is this, whereabouts can I get a red flag to carry in front of my automobile?
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, it looks as though Lum and Abner have found a way to eliminate the competition which has practically ruined their theater business. They ran across an old ordinance prohibiting theatrical entertainments from being held on the second floor of any building in Pine Ridge because of the fire hazard. As we look in on the little community today, we find Abner in the Jot 'em Down store and library. Cedric Wehunt is just entering. Listen.
Oh, well, howdy, Cedric. Come on in.
Yes, Mom.
Well, come on in, Cedric. Don't just stand there.
Well, Mr. Squire ain't here, is he?
Oh, of course he ain't. And it wouldn't matter if he was. You got a right to come into our store if you want to, Cedric.
Yes, Mom, but no telling what he'd do to me if he caught me in here talking to you fellers. Especially long as we were talking about this contract I signed with him.
Oh, you brung that along with you, huh?
Yes, Mom. Mr. Lum told me to.
Yeah, I know he did. Well, Lum will look that over for you, Cedric, quick as he gets back. He ought to be here any minute now.
Yes, Mom. Whereabouts is he at?
Oh, he went over to Dick Huddleston's store for a few minutes after the meal, I think. Here, I'll take the contract and give it to him, Cedric. Lum's been looking up more stuff in his law books this morning. I wouldn't be a bit surprised what he ain't found out a way to make Squire pay you as much as he promised he would.
Well, I sure hope so. Because I don't want to work for him for no $2.50 a week.
Why, of course not. What was it he promised to pay you, $10?
Yes, Mom, that's what he said.
Doggies, I thought there's something peculiar with all the high wages he was going around town here offering everybody.
Well, I asked Mr. Squire about it, but he just said a lot of stuff about me having a one-way contract, whatever that means.
One way?
That's what he said. Just like a one-way ticket, I reckon, railroad ticket. We're in a round trip, I know.
But you ain't going no place for him, are you?
I don't think so.
Well, I do know.
If I am, I'm just going to have to stay where I'm going because it's just one way, he said.
Yeah, well, we'll find out about that. We don't want to get you off somewhere where you can't get home.
I don't want to go no place, neither.
No.
Well, it just binded me to it, whatever it was, but it never binded him to it or something. I couldn't follow all what he was saying.
No. Well, he's a slick talker, that Squire.
Ain't he, though?
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you this, though, Cedric. He ain't slick enough to get out of something that me and Lum's cooking up for him.
Y'all cooking up something for him? You and Mr. Lum going to have Mr. Squire over for supper?
Oh, no, Cedric.
And give him some pies and victuals to eat?
Oh, of course not. Doggy, that ain't a bad idea you got there, though.
Oh, help.
No, I believe this idea of ours will work good enough, though, Cedric. We'll fix it.
What is your idea?
Well, I can't...
How you aiming on poisoning?
Well, I can't tell you nothing about it. We ain't going to poison, but it's something else. All I can tell you now is that we got a way studied up to close that place of his, that theater's up tighter than a new pair of shoes. Wait a minute, there he comes right now.
Who, Mr. Squire?
No, Lum. Come on back here and sit down, Cedric. Don't act so scared all the time. You're jumpy as nervous as a rabbit's nose.
Scared to daylight, son. I don't want to get thrown in the penitentiary.
Well, now, you won't, Cedric. Not with Lum taking care of you. I tell you, that Lum knows all that legal stuff forwards and backwards. Lum, Cedric's here, and he brung over that contract with him.
Oh, well, good. How are you today, Cedric?
Oh, pretty good almost, I think.
Here it is, Lum. You want to look it over now?
Yeah, sure. I'll be glad to read it and give you my opinions on it, Cedric.
He claims that Squire says the contract is one way in buying Cedric, but not him.
Well, that's more than likely the kind of a contract he's drawed up.
Huh?
Well, what I want to get's that $10 he promised me.
Yeah, well, Lum can tell by just looking at it whether you can or not, Cedric. He's good at that stuff. Ain't you, Lum?
Well, I don't like to cast compliments right in my own face, but I will admit I do know legal matters. I do say so myself.
I'll say you do. You just ought to hear him read out of them big law books, Cedric. He can say might nigh every one of them big words that's in there.
Well, there ain't nothing to that, Abner.
Huh?
Hardly much. But he gets used to them legal terms after a while.
Oh.
Well, let's see here. Agreement. Party of the first part,
Cedric, you just ought to hear Lum when he goes to talking law matters with somebody. He uses so many big words, they don't know what he's talking about half the time. He can just go on with it.
I don't know what he's talking about sometimes when he just uses little bitty words, I don't think.
Look at the way old Lum's squinting his eyes up there, Cedric. He's thinking hard when he does that.
He's stuck to do that.
Well, he learned it from the county judge in there at the county seat. He squints his eyes, too. Taking Lum 3 or 4 weeks to get onto that. He's got one whole term of court there.
Party of the first part, the second party, Cedric Wehunt. Was there any witnesses present when you signed this here document?
Mom? He means was there anybody with you when you signed it, Cedric. I know what that means.
Well, let's see now. Yes, Mom, I believe there was somebody with me.
Well?
Barrel Legs Crockett was there.
Oh, Barrel Legs, huh?
But he ain't here now. He got drafted last Thursday, and he's over in Oklahoma now.
Oh.
Witnesses dispersed.
See there, Cedric, them big words.
Well, I reckon we'll have to get out some of them irrigation papers to interchange them back over the state line.
That's the wonderfulest thing I ever heard, the way he can talk to
I don't know whose jurisdiction this would come under, Cedric. And it'd be unethical for me to say that the defendant's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But as your retainer, quo vadis, I'd say the hypotheses of the case indicate that the party of the first part could be held responsible unless, mind you, there's a habeas corpus action on the status quo.
I'd give that seashell I got over the place if I could talk like that. I didn't quite follow that myself, Lum. I jumped the track there, Summers. Come over that again, will you?
Well, the whole thing, boiled down, is that, while this instrument's binding to the party of the second part, the first party can waive liability on the grounds of corpus delicto, ex post facto, and so forth.
Listen to that, would you?
Of course, that ain't been proved yet.
Oh, natural. It ain't.
Well, what I want to know is, can I make Mr. Squire pay me that $10 he promised? Well, now, there's something I couldn't tell you, Cedric. This contract don't say one way or the other on that. Oh, tell you what, Cedric, you let me study on this a while longer, and I'll give you a report on it tomorrow. How's that? Well, I reckon that'll be all right. I'd love to get that $10, though.
Well, now, don't you worry, Cedric. You will. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, Mom.
Well, I'll have some kind of a definite answer for you tomorrow, Cedric.
Yeah, Lum will take care of it.
So long.
So long, Cedric. Don't worry. You reckon he can get that money or not, Lum?
Well, I don't know, Abner. I can't tell from this contract.
Oh.
But I wanted to get shut of Cedric so as I can draw up them papers to close up Squire's picture show.
You ain't got them fixed up yet?
Well, no, I just ain't had a minute's time to do it, seems like.
Oh.
I'll do it right now if I can find some of them warrants.
Warrants?
Blank warrants, you know.
Well, I don't believe you got none of them left, Lum. Don't you recollect? You was looking for one here a while back when Sister Simpson wanted to get out a warrant for Ulysses S. Quincy for letting his stock run loose. Recollect?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's all that saved Ulysses, too.
Yeah, couldn't arrest him, couldn't get out a warrant, never had none.
I thought sure I had one or two left in this desk somewhere, so
no,
look here.
They ain't none, I know that. There's some blanks in there for hunting license. Might use one of them. They got a lot of legal words on them, Lum.
Hunting license?
Yeah.
No, if I'd fill out one of them, we'd be arresting Squire for hunting on the second floor of a building.
Well, that's again the law, ain't it?
It might be, but what we're arresting him for is running a picture show up there.
I'll get him for both. I don't care.
I reckon this don't have to be on the regular warrant blank, though.
Don't, huh?
I'll just write it out on a piece of paper. I know all them legal words anyway.
Why, sure, you know 'em more than likely better than the fella that writ them others. Wait a minute, here comes Grandpappy Spears. Better not let him see what we're doing.
It won't matter. He ain't working for Squire no more.
Oh, that's right.
Besides, as soon as we get Uncle Henry Lunsford to serve this on Squire, everybody's going to know it, ain't it?
Yeah, sure. Don't make no difference, I don't reckon. Yeah, howdy, Grandpap.
Yeah, howdy. Say, I hear you fellers are helping Cedric get some money out of old Squire Skimp.
Lord, me, has he blabbed that all over town?
No, he just told me about it, confidential, about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, well, don't you go telling it all around now, Grandpap.
Oh, I won't breathe a word of it. But I'd like to have you do the same thing for me.
For you?
Yeah, don't you recollect? Squire gave me a contract to play the pioneer for him. Then he fired me and tore up the paper I'd signed.
You told me that you tore that up.
Yeah, that's right, I did, didn't I?
Yes,
Well, I never, though. He done it himself.
Oh.
And I believe I got a good case there to where I can lawsuit him.
Well, maybe you can. What do you think, Lum?
Well, I tell you, I think Squire's going to have enough trouble. Fact is, he's going to be out of the show business by 6 o'clock tonight.
Out of the show business?
Why, sure. Me and Lum found out he's violating the law every time he opens them doors over there.
Well, it ain't again the law to run a picture show, is it?
It is the way he's running his'n. We found an old ordinance in the law statute that it was passed back in 1907 here in Pine Ridge, and it says it's against the law to have a theaters on the second story of a building on account of fire hazards and such as that.
Yeah, I do know. Well, I'm proud to hear that.
And Lum's drawing up the paper to serve on him right now.
Yeah, listen to this. I just scratched this off rough.
Oh, sure.
I, Lum, Edwards, and Abner Peabody charge M.K. Skimp with violating ordinance number... Wait a minute, though. That ain't going to look right.
You mean that kind of paper ain't going to work, Lum?
No, it ain't that. I just don't like the idea of me and you bringing these charges against him.
Well, it's against the law, ain't it?
Yeah, I know, but I just feel like we're just using the law to fight competition with.
Huh?
If me and you wasn't in the picture show business ourselves, Abner, we wouldn't even think of doing such a thing.
We wouldn't, huh?
No, it's just an old law that ought to have been taken off the record years ago.
It's still a law, though, Lum.
Yeah, but I don't like taking advantage of my position as justice of the peace this way. I never would feel right about it. No, let's just forget about it.
No, I do know. After all Squire's done to us, and here you are getting chicken-hearted when we've got a chance to close that place of his up and get shut up.
Well, here now, if that's against the law, I want to see that place closed up. I'll bring them charges against him myself.
That's our time, Granddad.
As a citizen of Pine Ridge, I demand that you make out a warrant for Squire Skimp's arrest.
You got to do it, too, Lum. You're justice of the peace, and Grandpap's a taxpayer. He's got his rights.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the old fellow's discovered that Squire Skimp is violating an old city ordinance by operating a theater on the second floor of a building. But Lum refuses to issue a warrant closing his competitor's place of business. Abner, however, thinks that this would be a fine way to eliminate competition. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum and Abner in their jot-em-down store and library still arguing about the matter.
No, sir, Abner, I just ain't going to do it.
All right, doggies, I don't see why not.
Well, I've told you 1,000 or 100 times I don't want us to have to resort to no underhanded tic-tacs like that.
Oh, pretty.
If we can get our share of the picture business fair and square, I don't want it.
Well, this ain't underhanded, Lum. The law says you can't run a picture show upstairs here in Pine Ridge, and that's exactly what Squire Skimp's doing. He's making a volley of the law every time he opens them doors over there.
Yeah, but that's an old law. It ought to have been unappealed long ago.
Yeah, but it weren't on appeal, so it's still a law. My doggies, you're the justice of the peace, and you ought to uphold the law, Lum.
I know, but that's the whole trouble right there. Me being justice of the peace, it just looks like I'm taking advantage of my office. Now, I can't bring them charges against Squire.
Well, Lum, you ain't bringing them. Grandpappy Spears said he'd bring them. Fact is, he demanded that you swear out that warrant for Squire's arrest. And Grandpap's got a perfect right to do that, too. He's a citizen in good standing, well thought of here in the community.
Well, Grandpap's just mad 'cause Squire fired him from that pioneer playing job, so he just wants to close him up to get even with him.
Well, Lum, that ain't your lookout why he wants to do it. You're justice of the peace. You're supposed to do what the taxpayers want you to do.
I don't care what I'm supposed to do. I ain't going to do it, and that settles it.
But now, Lum...
No use arguing with me. My mind's made up.
All right, doggies, unmake it, then we'll start all over again.
Well, I might study on it some more, but I don't believe nothing can make me change my mind. I think I'll run across the street and talk to Dick Huddleston about it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Why don't you do that, Lum? Maybe he can pound some sense into your head.
I've got all the sense I need. I oughtn't to be gone long. Call me if anything comes up.
All right, I'll take care of everything. You don't have to worry about that.
And get the phone there.
Uh-huh. Just hope that Dick can talk him into it. That's all I hope. Stubborn-headedest feller I ever seen. Hello, jot him down, store and library. Abner Peabody doing the talking. Mom? Yes, Mom, we're running a different picture tonight. Oh, it's a dandy. Why, it's called the Masked Rider Strikes Again. Mom? Bells? Well, Lord me, I don't know how many bells they give it on the radio. I don't know what you're talking about even. No, Mom.
Yeah, howdy.
Just a minute, Miss Goshen. Be quiet, Grandpap.
Oh, excuse me, Abner. I haven't seen you.
How's that, Miss Goshen?
Wouldn't have butted in for the world.
No, Mom, we close up by 10 o'clock.
Go right ahead. I'll just sit here and wait, Abner.
Oh, you're working on the swing shift, huh?
You're busy talking. I don't want to bother you.
Well, can't you get Walt Bass to let you off one night? Uh-huh. Have a what? Owl show. No, Mom, we just run a regular picture show. There's no owls in it at all. Yes, Mom. All right, goodbye. Doggies. If them women folks can't ask the most ridiculous questions. Want to know if we's running an owl show over there.
Oh, for the law, me sakes. Who'd want to see one of them? I wouldn't give a hoot to see one of them.
I don't know. I do not know.
Well, hurry up, Abner. Tell me the news. What happened after Uncle Henry Lunsford served that warrant on old Squire?
Grandpappy ain't served it.
He ain't?
No, sir.
Well, what's the matter?
Huh?
Well, here now, that's his duty. He's town marshal, and he's required by the law to do that.
Well, wait, it ain't Uncle Henry's fault. It's Lum.
Lum?
Yes, sir, Lum. He absolutely refuses to let Uncle Henry or anybody else serve that warrant. Got his head set, and there just ain't nothing I can do with him.
Well, wait a minute. I demanded him to do it. Demanded as a citizen of Pine Ridge by Jiminy.
I know that. But it just looks like nothing ain't gonna change old Lum's mind.
Well,
you know
that
him.
stubborn old mule. That pigeon-toed, stubborn old blue-nosed mule.
That's exactly what he is. I have to admit it, even if I am in partnerships with him. One time this morning, I did talk him into drawing up the warrant. Even got him to sign it there.
You did?
Yeah,
Good
but...
for you.
Well, he balked
Good for
again,
you.
though. He balked, wouldn't go through with it. Just stopped right there, got his feet set just like he's in a slab of cement, just wouldn't budge.
Oh, it's just like arguing with a stump on fire.
Oh, that Lum, he is stubborn.
Well, wait a minute. Whereabouts is the warrant at now?
I don't know, Grandpap. He put it away somewhere. Wouldn't tell me where it was at.
Well, by Jiminy, come on. Let's find the pigeon-toed thing.
Well, what good would that do?
Well, you said he signed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, by Jenkins, I'll take it over to Uncle Henry. Take it over there myself.
Well, can you do that, though?
Why, sure, as long as it's signed, I can.
Huh?
Once Uncle Henry serves it on Squire, why, then Lum will have to go through with it.
All right, doggies, wait a minute, Grandpap. I believe you got a good idea there.
Why, sure.
Now,
Come on, start hunting
Yeah.
there. Reckon where he could have put that thing.
Yeah, let's see now. Yes, it
In
ain't
the
in
drawer.
there. There ain't no use looking there. He never puts nothing in his desk there. Generality, he's always hiding things back of the cash drawer right there next to you. Look back there, Grandpap.
back here.
Yeah, right behind there.
Now,
Nothing here now.
Huh.
Yeah, let's see now. Where else could you put the thing?
Dogged, I hope we're doing the right thing. That Lum finds out about this, so he'll be madder than a wet setting hen. He'll about skin me alive, Grandpap.
Well, this is one time we got to take things in our own hands, Abner. This is one case where Lum don't know what's best for him.
Well, you might be right at that, yet.
I know I'm right. We can't have no lawbreakers in our town.
Of course not.
That lodge hole up there where Squire's running his show ain't nothing but a knock-kneed fire trap.
That's what it is, a fire trap, yes, sir.
All them big crowds he's having in there and just got that one little bitty stairway for him to get out.
Why, sure, and that stairway ain't over 3 foot wide.
Of course it ain't.
Be worth about his life to get out of that place if a fire was to break up out there. So just couldn't do it at all.
That frame building would burn just like kindling would.
Why, sure it would.
By Jiminy, is this it, Abner, right here?
Huh?
Is this the warrant he drawed up?
Wait a minute, let me see it. Yeah, that's it, Grandpa. Whereabouts was it at?
It's right twixt them 2 lard buckets there.
Well, I do know.
Well, I'll just take this flat-footed thing. Well, I do know. Look who's going by the store, Abner. Uncle Henry.
Oh, well.
This must be our lucky day.
Hooray for us.
Fate must be arranging things.
Well, good for fate. Who?
Fate, I said.
Oh,
I better catch Uncle Henry before he gets away.
Yeah, go get him. Hurry up, Grandpa.
And we'll have old Squire under arrest in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's our time.
So long.
So long, Grandpa. Hooray for us. Doggy, this does my heart good. Get that Squire locked up in jail. Oh, there comes Lum. Hope he don't stop Grandpa. Hello, jot 'em down, store and library. Abner Peabody doing the talking. Mom? Oh, excuse me. I thought that was our ring. Well, I'm sorry. Goodbye. Doggone.
For goodness sakes, what's the matter with Grandpap? What's he in such a hurry for?
Why, he just recollected he had something important to do, I think, Lum.
Is he taken out of here like a scared rabbit?
Yeah, he was in a hurry, I reckon.
It looked almost like he was chasing Uncle Henry Lunsford up the street.
Well, I do know. Well,
I'm glad I went over and talked to Dick about this whole thing. I believe he's got a good idea what to do about it.
Did he talk you into arresting Squire and closing him up over there?
Well, he's seen my point of view on this and didn't blame me at all for feeling the way I did.
Didn't blame you?
But then he said Squire really oughtn't to be running the show upstairs that way.
Why, of course not.
He wants to see the warrant I drawed up. Will you get it for me, Abner?
Get the warrant, you mean?
Well, sure, the warrant.
Oh, yeah. You sure you don't mean your checkbook now, Lum?
Of course not. What would I want with a checkbook? Get me the warrant.
Well, wait a minute, Lum. You put that thing somewhere yourself. You never told me where it was at.
Oh, that's right. What's the matter with me? It's right twixt them 2 front lard buckets there, Abner. Right back of you there.
The what? Lard bucket?
Yeah.
Oh, Dogies, I believe we're out of lard, Lum. You better order some next time a salesman comes out here, Lum.
Why, we ain't neither out of lard. There's some on that shelf right there by the side of you. Look in between them 2 front buckets.
Oh. Twixt the 2 back buckets, huh? No, ain't here.
I said the front ones. Sworn to goodness, are you losing your hearing?
Well, Lum, all you want to do with that warrant is just give it to Uncle Henry so's he can serve it on Squire, ain't it?
No, that's just what I don't want to do. I ain't changed my mind on that.
Oh?
Dick just wanted to see it. He wants to see that ordinance in the law book, too. The one where it says about not having theater entertaining on the 2nd floor.
Yeah, well, what's Dick going to do then?
Well, he allowed it might be best for him to drop in on Squire sort of casual and bring up the subject about the ordinance.
You mean just tell him about it without arresting him?
Yeah, you see, that way Squire will see right away where he's violating the law, and so then he'll know his place can be closed up if anybody wants to do it. And then Dick will sort of suggest that maybe he better move his picture show somewhere else before the citizens get after him.
Well, Lum, it ain't going to help us none if he just moves his picture show.
Yes, it will, don't you see? Because there ain't no other vacant building in town to move to. By the time he gets done building a new one, we'll have all the business there is.
Lum, I believe it'd be better to just give that warrant to Uncle Henry.
No, it wouldn't now. This way, Dick just shows Squire what he's doing wrong. And then it gives Squire a chance to decide where he wants to go on violating the law or not. Hurry up, Abner. Hand me that warrant.
Well, Lum, I don't believe you want that thing. More than likely it's all wrinkled up by this time
For
anyway.
goodness sakes, you get the craziest ideas sometimes. Here, step aside. I'll get it myself.
Now, wait a minute, Lum. Maybe you're right. We don't want to serve that on Squire. He's a nice feller, I believe. I think an awful lot of him.
For goodness sakes, it's gone.
Huh? Well, I reckon where that could have went to.
Granny's, I'm sure that's where... Wait a minute. Grandpap running out of here, chasing Uncle Henry. Abner... Step into the feed room here. I want to talk to you a minute.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, in spite of Lum's protests, the warrant closing Squire Skimp's Hippodrome Theater has been issued and served by Town Marshal Uncle Henry Lunsford. Inasmuch as Lum is Justice of the Peace and will have to preside at Squire's trial, he's afraid that everyone will think that he's using his office to fight his competition in the theater business. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their Jot 'em Down store and library. Abner is talking on the telephone.
What was that, Miss Clayton? Oh, yes, Mom. Yes, Mom, I hear that the Hippodrome Theater's closed up now. No, our picture show's still running same as ever.
Abner, don't act so happy when you tell that.
Why, sure, every night. Or that is, except Sunday, of course. We don't stay open on Sunday. Mom? Why, I reckon so. Just a minute, I'll ask Lum to be sure. Lum, Miss Clayton wants to know if we're going to charge the same admission prices we've been charging.
Of course we are.
Oh.
We ain't going to raise our prices just because we've illuminated our competition now.
Yeah. Hello? Yes, Mom, same prices, Lum says. Ain't going to raise them none. Oh, not at all. Just glad you called. All right, Miss Clayton. Goodbye. Doggies, I tell you, Lum, we ought to start making a lot of money out of that picture show of ours now, you know it.
Yeah, we ought to do all right now.
Oh, get all the businesses in town.
I still don't feel just right about it, though, Abner. Closing Squire up that way, having him arrested and all.
Well, Lum, it ain't your fault if Squire Skimp's violating the law.
I know, but it just looks like I just done that to run Squire out of business so as I could get it all for myself.
Well, you never done that, though, Lum. It was Grandpappy Spears. Grandpappy Spears is the one that done it. A full-blooded citizen that asked you to draw up that warrant. And me and him was the ones that found where you hid it and give it to the town marshal to serve on Squire. You never had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but Squire thinks I done it all.
Oh, well, he might think that, yeah.
And I'm feared everybody else will think I done it, too.
Oh, prattle.
Just sort of puts me in a bad light, that's all, Abner.
Well, now, just don't worry yourself no more about it, Lum. Just try to think of it this way, Lum. By closing Squire's picture show up, we might be saving the lives of half the citizens in Pine Ridge. Of course, that old place of his nowhere weren't nothing but a fire trap upstairs in the lodge hall the way it was. They couldn't get down the stairs, Lum.
One way to look at it, I reckon.
Why, sure it is. Doggies, I just wished I could have been there when Uncle Henry Lunsford served that warrant on old Squire. Uncle Henry said he never seen a man get so mad in all his life. Just ranted and raved all over the place, he said.
Well, you can't hardly blame him, neither.
Well, no, I reckon not. Doggies, I tell you, Lum, it might be a good idea for me and you to stay as far away as we can from Squire for a while, though, you know it.
We can't do that very well.
Can't.
His case comes up tomorrow in my Justice of the Peace Court. Granny's, I dread that, too.
Well, Lum, you'll have Squire right where you want him at the trial. You being a judge and all, he can't talk back to you. You can sue him for contempt in the court. That's what you can do.
That's just the trouble. I wish I weren't the judge. I wish I could just pass this case right on up to the Supreme Court. Let them handle it.
Oh.
They can more than likely take care of it in 5 or 10 minutes, the way they do things.
Yeah. Well, why don't you just call them up and see if they'll take it on in if you don't want to?
Well, I would, but I don't know their ring.
Oh, I don't believe I do neither. I never did.
I'd more than likely have to get Squire's permission first, and I don't want to talk to him no more than I have to.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you there. We ought to keep out of his way if we can't. Wait a minute. There comes Cedric yonder.
Oh, Granny's there. Reckon we knocked him out of a job when they closed up Squire's place, too.
Well, it's just good enough for him, Lum. He had no business ever quitting us in the first place and going to work for Squire Skimp. He had it coming to him.
Well, he just let Squire talk him into that.
Yeah.
Cedric means well. Makes mistakes like all the rest of us.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's honest, all right. I'll say that for him. Just as honest as the day is long, Cedric. Huh? Yeah, I don't know what I mean by that. How can anybody be as honest as the day is long?
I don't know. You was the one that said it.
Doggy, that don't make sense, Lum. Some days is longer than others, like in the summertime, and other days is shorter. Reckon what day I was going by there.
Well, don't argue with me about it.
Honest as the day is long. That's the silliest one thing I ever heard anybody say.
Wonderful world.
Even if I knowed what day I was measuring. Oh, hello, Cedric.
Howdy, Mr. Abner. Howdy, Mr. Lum.
Doggy,
hello, Cedric.
silliness.
Did you hear what happened to Mr. Squire's picture show?
Yeah, we know all about that, Cedric.
He got closed up. Boy, closed him clean up.
Well, what are you laughing about that for, Cedric? That means you're out of a job now, you know.
Yes, Mom, that's right, don't it?
Why, sure it does.
Well, I ain't on asking Mr. Squire about that, but he's been acting so mad I never got a chance to do it, hardly.
Well, you don't need to ask him about it. I'll tell you that, Cedric. You're out. That's all there to it. You ain't working for Squire no more.
Well, Mom, I don't believe I am neither.
I know you ain't. This picture show's closed up.
Say, Mr. Lum, did you do anything about that contract I brung over here for you to look at? The one I signed with Mr. Squire?
No, he ain't had time, Cedric.
No, to be honest, I ain't did nothing more about that, Cedric.
Of course, I don't reckon it makes no difference now, no way.
I wish I had done something about it, because I'm feared that doggone thing's going to get me in a batch of trouble.
Trouble?
Yes, Mom.
Why, how can it, Cedric? It just said that Squire was going to pay you $10 a week, and then he only paid you $2.50. But now that he's closed up, why, you ain't even going to get that no more, Cedric.
Well, no, but right there's the trouble.
Huh?
You see, that contract said I was supposed to run his moving picture machine for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I signed it, too. Signed it with my own name.
Yeah, I know you did, but what of it, Cedric?
Well, now the place is closed up, and I can't get in there to run the machine.
Well, natural wouldn't be no sense to run it no way, Cedric.
See, here's what I want to know. Can he lawsue me?
Oh, for the land's sake. Why, he can't lawsue you for that.
Of course he can't, Cedric. Leastways, I don't think he can.
Huh?
Well, I bound you he can. He's a slickin', that Squire is, at that lawsuit and stuff special. Papa says he is.
Yeah, he is. I'll admit that.
Wait a minute now. Granny, Cedric might have a point there, Abner.
Might have a what, Long?
Yeah, when you look at it that way, Cedric, you might be liable. Ex post facto and nolo condendo, of course. And also habeas corpus.
Wish I'd give anything if I could talk like
Is that pretty bad, Mr. Lum?
It don't sound good to me, Cedric.
Well, I'll tell you, Cedric, what you better do, just sort of lay low for a few days, and I'll keep an eye on legal developments. And if it looks like there's going to be any malfeasance or assault in the battery, I'll litigate the litigations for you.
That Lum ought to run for governor of the state. That's what he... yeah, what was that, Lum? Come over that again. I don't believe I quite kept up with you there. Rack them up and shoot again.
It just means that the actual ain't a thing for Cedric to worry about.
Oh, sure. Ain't a thing in the world for you to worry about, Cedric. Not a thing in the... Well, you heard what Lum said there. That stuff he was telling you just now, didn't you, Cedric?
Well, putting it down in little bitty words, it means that there ain't nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ain't nothing in the world for you to worry about, Cedric. Not a single solitary thing in the world. No.
Good.
Just forget it. Oh, my goodness alive.
What's the matter?
Lum, we better hide.
Hide?
Yeah, look out there. Squire Skimp's coming in here. See him yonder?
Well, let him come.
But we better lock the front door. I don't want you to get hurt, Lum. Or me either.
Well, don't you worry about me. I'll take care of myself.
Yeah.
I'll clinch with him if I have to. I'll fist fight him.
Well, who's going to take care of me? Where's that baseball bat? I had that thing around. Where's Cedric?
I'm going back here in the feed room. I don't want him to start lawsuing me right away. I know that.
Cedric, you come on back here and stand beside of me now. Wait a minute. I'll come back there with you. Stay there, Cedric.
No, you stay right where you're at, Abner.
Well, now, listen, Lum. You ought to hear all the things the Squire told Uncle Henry he's going to do to us. Uncle Henry said he just hated and despised us and laid this whole thing on to me and you.
That was just a lot of big talk, I hope. Well, more than likely he wants to talk to both of us anyway, so you just sit right here now.
Well, Lum, I don't want to sit here. I'd rather go back in the feed room. I'll listen to what you and him's got to say.
No, you're not. You're going to sit right there.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, howdy, Squire. Come on in.
Yes, don't you be hard on me, Lum Edwards. What's the meaning of all this falderall closing up my theater? Is that your idea of a joke, Lum?
Well, no, it weren't no joke. You see,
I never expected
Spears.
anything like this from you, Lum. As long as I've known you, and as good of friends as we've been, I never would accuse you of doing something like this. Using your office here to shut me down, that's what you're doing. Why, Lum, that's the way a card fights competition. Taking advantage of your justice of the peace.
Wait a minute, Squire. You don't quite understand.
I understand it all too well. I can see right through your petty little scheme, Lum. And you can't close up my business with some little law that you made yourself just to fit your own purpose.
I can show you the ordinance any time you want to see it. And as far as the warrant's concerned, a citizen of Pine Ridge swore that out. It weren't my doing.
No, sir, and this citizen was the one that got Uncle Henry Lunsford to serve that warrant on you, too, Squire.
That's a fact, Squire.
Yes, that's a fine story, Lum, a fine story. You're not kidding me a bit. You're at the bottom of this, and you might just as well admit it. No law that you've concocted yourself is going to run me out of business, I can tell you that right now.
Well, Squire, your case is set in my Justice of the Peace Court tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, that's what I hear.
There'll be plenty of time then to argue the case. I'm sorrowful you think I'm trying to take advantage of you. To be honest, I wish somebody else was presiding over the case.
Well, I'm glad it's you, Lum, because if Skimp's Hippodrome is forced to close its doors, if you rule against me in that trial tomorrow, it'll be the biggest mistake you ever made in your life, Lum Edwards. Just remember, I warned you. Good day.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, doggy's Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, this is the day of Squire Skimp's trial. He's being brought before Justice of the Peace L. Edwards on a charge of violating an old city ordinance which prohibits the staging of a theatrical entertainment on the second floor of any building in Pine Ridge. As we look in on the little community today, we find Judge Edwards and Abner just outside the door of the livery stable, which serves as the courtroom. Listen.
Granny's Abner, I don't know where I can go through with this or not.
Well, now, you've just got to do it, Lum. Everybody's done inside there waiting for the trial to start right now.
Well, it just don't look right, though. Here I am, Justice of the Peace, and I'm going to close up another feller's picture show so as we can get all the business for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, come on, hurry up. Let's get inside, Lum.
Well, I'll tell you one thing now. Don't be surprised if I rule in Squire's favor and let him open his picture show again.
In Squire's favor? Why, you can't do that, Lum. Now, he's broke a law.
Yeah, but maybe I can find some technicalities in the law to let him off.
Now, Lum, you can't do that. I won't let you. Come on now, we got to get inside and let's do this thing right now while we're in here.
All right, open the door.
Yeah, just a minute.
But don't be surprised if I let him off.
Yeah, go ahead. Mind out. Well, it looks like he's already open forth there.
All right, folks, all right. Simmer down.
Howdy, Miss Barton.
That goes for you too, Abner.
Oh.
Everybody stand up. Howdy, Miss Barton.
Morning, Ellie.
The Justice of the Peace, Court of the Township of Pine Ridge, County of Polk, State of Arkansas, is now declared to be in session. L. Edwards presiding. All right, sit down, everybody.
Yeah, howdy, Earl. How's that sick hog of yours getting along now?
Abner, hush up.
Oh, excuse me.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed with the proceedings, I'd like to make an announcement.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Tell them what show we're running tonight, Lum.
Abner, keep quiet.
Huh?
I just want to say, folks, that this court never had nothing to do with bringing the charges against the defendant in this trial.
Oh.
They was brung by disinterested citizens. And the court's just trying the case because that's the law. That's all.
Well, ain't you going to tell them what picture we're running, Lum?
Hush up. All right, will the clerk of the court read off the charges?
Grandpap, he's talking about you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, hurry up.
Wait till I put my glasses on here.
Huh? You done got 'em on, Grandpap.
How's that, Abner?
They're right on your eyes there.
Well, never mind. I'll try to get along without them.
For the land's sake.
The case being brung before this court today is a Township of Pine Ridge versus these M.K. Skimp.
Six reading, I don't know why they get him.
Charges violating City Ordinance 1796, Section 5B, passed in 1907.
Oh, hurry up.
To wit as follows. It shall be unlawful for any party or parties or agents thereof to hold a theatrical entertainment in any building above the ground floor because of the fire hazard.
All right, doggies, you done pretty good at that, Grandpap.
Thank you, Abner. Without my glasses, too.
Why, you got 'em on there, right there on your forehead.
Order in the court, please.
Huh?
Hush up.
Oh.
The defendant has heard the charges. Has the defendant got anything to say for herself? That means you, Squire.
Yes, I know, Lum.
Just step forward, Squire.
Yes, I know, Lum. I know what to do.
Yeah, he ought to. He's been through it enough time. Been tried for everything in the world.
That's our time, Grandpap.
I said once I wanted more order in this court. You understand?
Oh, yes, sir. It was Grandpap, though, that was doing it.
Just let it go, Abner.
Oh.
All right, Squire. Proceed.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Honorable Judge, my good friends and citizens of Pine Ridge.
Oh, he's going to make a speech. I can tell the way he started out.
Today, I find myself in the position of a man who has innocently, mind you, committed a minor infraction of the law, and who is therefore brought before a court of justice. Needless to say, for a man like myself, this is indeed an embarrassing and humiliating experience.
Oh, sassafras.
How's that, Grandpap?
Sassafras.
What?
You never said nothing, Squire. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Your Honor. As I was saying, this is for me indeed an embarrassing and humiliating experience.
I did, too, say something.
What?
All right, go ahead, Squire.
Yes. When it was first brought to my attention, ladies and gentlemen, by our good town marshal, Henry Lunsford, that I was violating a city ordinance by operating my Hippodrome Theater on the second floor of a building, I was indeed shocked and heartsick. And I want you to know that I immediately closed the doors of the Hippodrome Theater.
Well, natural.
Now, many of my good friends protested this because it was robbing them of the entertainment, which was bringing so much joy into their lives and helping to brighten their burdens in these times of trouble and stress. But I said no. The law must be respected at all times.
No.
That's
Hi there,
exactly
Charlie.
what I
Just
told
take a seat anywhere about there.
Grandpap, please.
Charlie Redfield just come.
Yes, I know, but you're not supposed to interrupt.
How's that, Charlie?
Grandpap, I told you you're not supposed to interrupt.
No,
now.
you ain't missed a thing so far, Charlie.
No.
Squire's just been talking. Go ahead, Squire.
Yes, thank you. As I was saying, the law at all times must be respected. And furthermore, I would never want to endanger the lives of my fellow citizens the slightest fraction of a degree. So I at once said my theater, Skimp's Hippodrome, must remain closed, even though it means financial ruin for me.
I hope it does, too.
However, my good friends continued to prevail upon me to fight this charge.
His friends.
They pointed out that the only reason for not running a theater on the second floor was the fire hazard. And thus, if the fire hazard could be eliminated, the objections voiced in the ordinance would then be overcome.
And he's right, too.
And so, in accordance with the wishes of my many good friends, I have gone over the entire second floor and discovered that the interior walls are principally of fireproof tin material. And, ladies and gentlemen, where this was lacking, I have, at great expense to myself, installed fireproof materials. This also includes the front stairway. Now, the only place where this was impossible was that old back stairway, which was never used anyway. So we have closed it up, sealed it off, so that no one can ever endanger his life by using it.
You're going, Squire, old boy, I'm for you.
Thank you, Your Honor. So now, I throw myself upon the mercy of this court.
I don't see how you can do it.
I stand here, ladies and gentlemen,
It's a good start, Pete.
ready to be judged on those simple facts which I have stated. Now, I do not ask that the court be concerned with the fact that I have invested the savings of a lifetime in the Hippodrome Theater.
What's that, Charlie?
If it remains closed...
I can't hear you, Squire.
Just a minute, please, Grandpap.
Go ahead, Squire. I can't hear you and Charlie both.
Well, listen to me. I'm testifying. Charlie isn't. May I repeat? If the Hippodrome Theater remains closed, it doesn't matter that Mrs. Skimp and myself will face our twilight years practically destitute.
I'll see you outside, Charlie. This might go on for hours.
Grandpap, just a minute. And it also matters not that my lifelong helpmate would be robbed of the comforts and the securities that I had always planned for old age. No, gentlemen, it matters not that poor Mrs. Skimp is at this moment on the verge of a nervous breakdown because of the fear of the future. No, gentlemen,
The saddest thing I ever...
we are not concerned here with any of those questions. The only question we are concerned with is, shall the doors of the Hippodrome Theater open again and bring joy to many, or shall they remain closed? I cannot go on, my friends. I rest my case.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I rule on this case, there'll be a recess for a half a second. Abner, come here a minute.
Yeah.
Here, come on.
I'm coming now.
This is all fair. The way it looks now, there's just one thing I can do. Don't you agree with me?
Well, don't ask me nothing. That poor Miss Skimp. That poor little thing.
Well, I mean, after he told about fireproof and everything.
Dogged how you could ever be so mean as to arrest him in the first place, Lum, I don't know.
Well, I never done it, Abner. You and
That
Grandpap
poor
was the one. I
woman.
tried not to do
Bless
it.
her heart.
Got the warrant out and take
Bless her little heart. I never felt as sorrowful for anyone in my life as I do her.
Well, better get this done. Only one thing to do.
Poor little thing. Bless her heart.
Quiet, please. All right, folks. Simmer down. Court's in session again. In view of the evidence give here today, this court hereby waives the charges against the defendant for running his show on the second floor.
That's a time, Lum. Poor little woman.
However, because the defendant testified that he sealed off the back stairway, the court's forced to close up the Hippodrome for a violation of Ordinance 7264, stating that a building where any public gatherings held must have at least 2 exits. Court's adjourned.
Hey, now, wait just a minute now, Lum. You can't do this to me now.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Aye, Dogged Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Squire Skimp was tried in Lum's Justice of the Peace Court for operating a theater in violation of a city ordinance, and the court ordered Squire's theater closed permanently. And now Lum and Abner's theater is doing a big business, inasmuch as it's the only one in town. As
As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in the box office selling tickets for the evening performance.
Yeah, how's the ticket selling going tonight, Lum?
Don't do that, Abner. Slip up behind me while I'm sitting here with all this money in front of me.
Oh, excuse me. You think I was a robber?
Well, I don't know what you are.
You might not jump right up through the roof of the box office, Lum. Look at your face, is just as white as if you'd just seen a ghost.
Yeah, I feel like I saw one. No, I was sitting here and you come up behind me that way. That's twice you've done that.
Well, I'm sorrowful. I'll knock from now on.
She's sitting here studying what if somebody had come in that door behind me and robbed me.
That's more likely the reason you jumped so high that time.
I think so.
Yeah, this is right comfort in here, ain't it?
Oh, it's nice. I brung that lantern along and keep that thing lit, keeps my feet warm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Dogged, I believe I'll bring one down here and sit there by me where I take up tickets in there.
No, you don't want no light burning inside the show.
Well, my feet get cold sitting there, Lum. People coming in, opening and closing the door there.
But you can get a little electric heater.
And all right. Just so I get one of some kind, that's all I care. Oh, me, Elizabeth's in there taking up tickets for me now, Lum.
Well, selling pretty good tonight.
They are, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good. I told her to just take up the tickets from the folks. She loves to sit there and speak to everybody when they come in, you know. Gives her a chance to see folks and visit with them that she ain't saw for a spell, you know.
Well, now, look, Abner, this is a business down here. Can't have her in there visiting with everybody comes by.
Well, I just left her in there for a little while. I'm going back directly. I just thought I'd come out and see how you're getting along.
I know, but it disturbs folks sitting there trying to see the picture.
Well, all right. I'll tell her to quit visiting with folks and just take up the tickets and not say nothing to them.
That's better. Looks like we're going to have a full house again tonight.
Yeah, it does. Doggies, we sure are getting to business, ain't we? I'm proud we taken up this picture show work, Lum. I believe this is the best thing we've studied up yet.
Oh, yeah, this is a gold mine we got here.
Yeah.
And I believe it was a good idea hiring Grandpap and his player Pioneer back again.
Oh, yeah, I know it was. Folks love hearing him run off a few tunes before the picture starts, you know. Everybody gets here early to get a good seat, and then we ain't got no music. Well, there ain't nothing for him to do, but Grandpap gets to playing that player Pioneer. He's got one humdinger there. It's a new role that he got. It's called Dardanelli, I believe it is.
Yeah, I heard it. It's uncommonly pretty.
Awful pretty. Of course, the one I favor the most is that, and it goes, let's see,
Just a minute, Abner. Evening, Miss Beckley. How many, please?
Just 2, Lum.
Oh, just you and the young'un, huh? All right. That's 30 cents. That's right. There's your tickets. I hope you enjoy the show, Miss Beckley. What was you saying now, Abner?
Oh, I was just saying that my favorite song of all them that Grandpap plays in there is the one that goes, let's see, there's a mother's heart that's broken, you know. There's a mother's heart that's broken. There's a name that's seldom spoken. There's a picture that is turned again the wall.
Oh, for goodness sakes, Abner, don't sing in here. Evening, Charity. Just go right on in, Charity. We saved your regular seat for you down in front where you can be near Grandpap.
I tell you, Lum, that song will make me cry every time I sing it. You know, Lum, it's about a girl, some poor girl that left home, and then her folks must have got mad at her or something, and they wouldn't let her come home, and it was snowing outside, you know.
I know how it goes.
Poor little thing. Poor little thing.
Howdy, Ulysses. I reckon you'll want 3 for tonight, looks like.
Yeah, okay, Lum.
All right, that'll be 50 cents for you and Carrie, and a dime for little Ellery. Total 60 cents.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. I recommend sitting over there toward the left side, Ulysses. The floor slants more on that side, and you can see over the women's hats better.
Yeah, okay. And by the way, Lum, this picture show of yours sure looking nice here. Now, who done the painting on it for you?
Why, me and Abner done this ourselves. Why?
Oh, nothing. I just thinking I got to get that barn of mine painted. Yes, sir, I got to get that painted sometime.
That Barney isn't going to fall to pieces before he ever gets it painted.
Yeah, he's been aiming to paint that thing for years, and the boards are starting to curl up on it right now.
Yeah. Abner, you better run upstairs and tell Cedric to get ready to start running the picture. Just about 7:30 now.
Yeah.
Them kids is scuffling down there on the front seats, too.
Yeah, I had to go down there and quiet them down a while ago. Waltz Bates' kid, and I think it's Mold Mooch young'un got in a fist fight down there. Clinched right down there on the front aisle a while ago.
Well, they get down there by 5:30.
Yeah.
I first opened up the box office. There's a line of them waiting to get down there.
Oh, they love to come down here and play. You know, Lum, I sure am glad that we got Cedric back here working for us again. He just as happy as a lark. Sits up there singing to himself half the time.
Yeah, everything's working out.
Oh, it's going fine, going fine.
I'm glad Cedric's running the machine anyway. He's more level-headed about it than you was, Abner.
Yeah, but huh?
Well, I don't mean to complain or criticize.
My head's just as level on top as his and his, Lum. Look up here. Look there.
Yeah, it's too level.
Huh?
But you always got to run the too blame fast when it got to the exciting part.
Well, I know it, Lum, but...
Folks was complaining they couldn't hardly tell what was going on.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't help it. I just couldn't hardly wait to see how it's going to come out, and I just speeded the thing up every time.
Well, run on up and tell Cedric.
Yeah. I'll be back directly.
All right. Oh, hello, Mousie. Glad to see you.
Hi, sir.
How come you ain't working at the defense plant this evening?
Well, sir, I've been transferred now, Lum, from the swing shift to the daytime.
Well, good for you.
Have you got a couple of seats in there for me and Gussie, Lum?
Well, sure we have. You bet your life.
Oh, good. We just thought we'd drop down and see the show tonight. Gussie, my love, can I have 50 cents of my money?
Well, here, wait a minute, Mousie. We ain't going to charge you nothing. No, you put that money right back in your pocket. Or in Gussie's pocket.
Oh, no, now, Lum, we want to pay.
No, sir, not after the help you give us on remodeling this place. Just go right on in. And tell Elizabeth I said it was all right.
Gee, thanks, Lum.
Not at all, Mousie. Proud to do it for you.
Come on, Gussie, my love.
Oh, howdy, Earl. Evening, Miss Butler. It's a fine-looking bunch of young'uns you got there, Earl. Must take after their mama.
Yes, so how much is it going to cost to get in here, Lum?
Well, 25 cents apiece for you and the missus, and we'll run the young'uns through at 10 cents a head. That'll be $1.10. Just give me $1 and we call it even.
Good enough.
Yeah, you better hurry now. The show's about to start.
Yeah, Cedric's all set up there now, Lum.
Oh, good. Abner, knock or something when you come up.
Oh, excuse me, I forget. I get excited and you hurry me up all the time. I told Cedric to start the picture. I just wanted you to know he's ready.
Earl Butler just brung his whole family in tonight. Did you see him?
Yeah, that's the first time I saw him out to the show, I believe.
Evening, Eli. Oh, just one, huh? All right, there you are. Much obliged to you, Eli.
I dog it, that Eli White owes might nigh everybody in town. Can't raise money to pay his debts, but he can always go to any kind of a show that comes to town.
Yeah, he owes us a bill down there store. We never will collect it.
How fellers like him can raise money for something. Oh, my goodness. Look yonder, Lum.
Where?
Squire Skimp. Get down here where he can't see. Come on,
get up from there, Abner. He ain't going to bother.
I ain't going to give him a chance. He swore he's going to get even with us for closing his place up, Lum.
Well, he can't hurt us as long as we're inside of the box office here.
He can shoot right through that glass there, Lum.
Yeah, but he ain't toting no gun. Might start an argument or something like that, but that's about all. Just let me handle him. Now, howdy, Squire.
Well, good evening, Lum. Good evening. How's the picture show business?
Why, pretty good, Squire. Can't complain.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Lum. This looks like a good picture you're running here tonight, too.
It's supposed to be uncommonly good, Squire.
Yeah, you men ought to do a nice business now that my place is closed up.
Yeah, I sort of hate that, Squire. I don't feel just right about it.
Oh, tut, Lum. You were only doing your duty. Wasn't anything else that you could do. It was a law, and it was up to you as a justice of the peace to enforce it.
Well, I'm proud you feel that way about it, Squire.
Oh, there's no hard feelings at all, Lum. No, well, I was a little mad at first, naturally, but after I got to thinking it over, I realized that my place over there was quite a fire hazard. And before I'd risk the lives of my friends and neighbors in Pine Ridge, I'd rather the place be closed.
Well, now, that's mighty nice of you to look at it that way. I want to shake your hand, Squire.
Well, that's all right, Lum. We'll just let bygones be bygones. Better give me a ticket, Lum. I'd like to see this show tonight.
No, here, Squire. Now, here's a ticket, but I don't want no money.
No. I want to do that, Lum. Squire Skimp always pays his way.
No, not this time, though. You just walk right in. Tonight or any night. Won't cost you a cent. Just proud to have you.
No, I wouldn't think of it, Lum. I appreciate it, but I want to pay my way just like anybody else. Well, I'll see you after the show, Lum.
All right, Squire.
Well, if that don't beat anything I ever seen in my life.
Well, sir, I don't believe I ever had such a surprise in all my born days. Granted, he ain't such a bad sort of a feller after all, you know it?
Yeah, it just don't seem right somehow or other, Lum. I just can't trust that Squire Skimp. He gets to talking too nice that way. That's when I start getting afeard of him.
Oh, you got him all wrong, Abner. He just got to thinking this whole thing over and seen where we was right and was man enough to come down and admit to it. You gotta give a feller like that credit.
Yeah, but when he gets to patting you on the back, he's more likely looking for a place to stick a knife, Lum. That's Squire.
Prattle.
Yes,
you
he
just
is.
heard somebody say that once.
Oh, no.
Trouble with you, Abner, you hold a grudge too long.
I do.
Squire's trying to do the right thing. You've got to learn to trust your feller man.
Well, I hope I'm wrong, but it just seems to me Squire's been going along that same rut for some...
Lum,
Huh?
come on inside quick. Somebody's hurt. There's been an accident.
Accident? Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Abner. What's the matter, Grandpap? Who is it?
Yeah, who is it, Grandpap?
Don't crowd around now. Get back to your seats. Get back in your seats.
Who is it?
Hey, Cedric, turn on the house lights. Let me through here, folks.
Yeah, turn the lights on, Cedric. Yeah, that's it.
I saw him, Mom. He fell coming down the aisle just now and must have hit his head against one of the seats.
Get back, everybody. Quit pushing now. Let me see who it is.
Yeah, let Lum see who it is now.
That's better. Well, I'll swan to goodness. It's Squire Skimp.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
All right, doggies, Lum, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, last night, Squire Skimp, in a surprisingly friendly mood, attended Lum and Abner's theater, and while walking down the aisle, he stumbled, hit his head against one of the seats, knocking himself unconscious. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows in their jot-em-down store and library. Lum is still pretty much concerned over Squire's accident. Listen.
Well, now, Lum, I'll tell you right now, if you don't quit worrying so much about Squire's accident, you're going to get yourself in a worse condition than he's in. You're just worrying yourself to death about it.
I know, but I just hate for anything like that to happen there at our picture show. Right when everything was going so good, too.
Well, everything's still going good over there, Lum.
Yeah, but I hate to have this happen right after Squire was nice enough to come over there and tell us he never had no hard feelings at us for closing up his theater.
What, you think this is going to make him mad at us again now?
Oh, maybe not, but I just wished it weren't him that got hurt there.
Well, I hate that, too.
Looks like we caused him enough trouble without something like that to happen.
Yeah. I still can't see how come him to fall.
Well, he said it was so dark in there he couldn't half see. I think he must have tripped himself on one of the seats.
Well, he might have. It is awful dark in there, I'll say that. I know last Saturday night the widow Abernathy sat right smack dab in Grandpa Master's lap.
Oh, for goodness
It's
sake.
a wonder Grandpa never got crushed to death as big and fat as a widow is.
Sure. Yeah, I wish there was some way we could have some lights in there, but can't do that. It'd spoil the picture.
No. Of course, it ain't bad after you sit there a while. You get to where you can see pretty good. It's just when you first come in it bothers you. I don't know what causes that.
Yeah, picture shows ought to have 2 rooms.
2 rooms.
Yeah, one of them where you can sit down and get used to the dark before you go in to watch the picture.
Oh.
That'd illuminate all that stumbling around, sitting in people's laps and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But if the first room was dark, Lum, why, they'd stumble in there, too. I don't believe that'd be such a good idea. No.
Well, just let it go. I ain't going to put one in no way.
You might have another room for 'em to sit down in before they go in the dark room. No, that wouldn't help, I don't believe.
Of course not. Get so many rooms, but he'd have to start going to the picture show about a day ahead of time so he could sit in all the different rooms before he got his eyes disadjusted to the room where the picture's at.
Yeah. Of course, now, you might just blindfold the folks for about a half hour before they go in.
Abner, they ain't no use to try to figure that out now. It's too late anyways. Squire's done hurt now.
Yeah.
Ain't no use to lock the barn after the horse is stole.
Well, I would just... Huh?
I just said it weren't no use to lock... nothing. I'm sorry I said it.
Whose horse is stolen?
I ought to know it better than to ever said a thing like that.
Lum, I ask you whose horse is stolen.
I hear you. Nobody's horse is stole. I just said that.
Well, now, if somebody's horse has been took around here, why, we ought to report it to Uncle Henry Lunsford. He's a town marshal, and he ought to know about it.
Sakes, Abner, there ain't been no horse stole. I just said they ain't no use to lock the barn door after the horse is stole. I mean, if...
Well, how could they lock the door after he stole if he ain't been stole? Not Lum, you're just trying to protect somebody. You just let that slip. That's about what you done.
Abner, if somebody's horse was took, I'd tell you. I was just using that old letter saying...
You oughtn't to keep things like this quiet just because it's some friend of yours.
It ain't no friend of mine, no.
What you trying to protect him for, then?
I ain't trying to protect nobody.
All right. Who is it, then?
It ain't nobody.
It's bound to be somebody, Lum. A horse can't steal himself.
There ain't been no horse stole.
You said there was a minute ago. Now here you are trying to back out of it.
I ain't trying to back out of nothing. Just hush up about it. I said all I'm going to.
Oh. Refuse to answer questions, huh? Doggy ought to take you right down to the jail and have Uncle Henry Lunsford lock you up.
Lock me up?
Lock you up in jail.
You ain't accusing me of stealing no horse, are you?
Well, you might not have sure enough stole him, but, Lum, you're just as guilty as a feller that did. I've heard you say that yourself. That's harbonating a criminal, or something like that you called it. You're interfering with the law. That's what you're doing, Lum.
Sworn to goodness, Abner, you'd drive a feller subtracted.
I'm giving you the third degree. That's what's making you feel that way. Just like that feller in the picture we're on the work the picture show now. You seen him. I believe I'm pretty good at this.
I'm going to have to keep you from seeing them pictures, I'm feared.
Edwards? Whereabouts was you at the night of the crime?
Oh, for goodness sakes, Abner.
I'm breaking you down, Lum.
Look
me now.
Break you down directly, and it ain't going to be by asking questions, neither, I can tell you that.
Come clean now, Edwards. Who done it? Some of your relates?
No.
Vegetable or was it some of Miss Milbank's relates?
No, Abner, no.
Well, tell me when I'm getting warm.
I ain't going to tell you nothing.
Huh?
For as I know, there ain't been no horse stolen. If there is, I don't know who done it.
Doggy, that's just what Uncle Henry claims is the trouble around this town. Everybody's always criticizing the way he runs his town marshal job, but then when something happens around here, why, everybody's afraid to tell him anything about it.
Granny's Abner, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I ought to be ashamed. What about you?
Sitting here arguing about something that don't mount a hill of beans, and Squire Skimp laying over there at his place just hovering twixt life and death, you might say.
Well, all right. I won't mention no more about the horse.
Well, good.
This friend of yours means so much to you that you don't want to get him into no trouble. I'll just go along with you on it. Of course, I do think you ought to see him and tell him to take the horse back, though.
All right. I'll see that the horse is took back.
I'm glad I made you change your mind.
Now, that settles that, don't it?
Yeah, I feel better about it. I sure do.
Now, don't say another word about it.
I won't. Don't mention it. I'll go along with you on it.
You know, I've been studying about Squire, Abner, and I think we ought to do something to cheer him up.
Doggy, that's going to be a hard job, though, getting that horse back in there.
I don't think we'll have no trouble. Just forget about it.
Yeah, but don't you forget something, though, Lum.
Forget something?
Yeah, you said that barn door was locked after the horse was stole. You'll never get him back in there now if the door locked.
Well, if it's locked, I'll get a key.
Where?
Well, I don't know where, but
Are you carrying the key to that barn, Lum? That makes you just as guilty as the fella that's got the horse.
Abner, I told you we'd get the horse back in there. Ain't that enough?
Well, all right. You're going to have a hard job doing it. I'll turn the door down, but that's your business.
Now, please don't mention another word about this.
I won't. I ain't going to tell a soul. I can keep a secret, Lum.
Yeah, I'm glad that's over.
Yeah, I am, too.
I'll know better than to start something like that again.
Well, you ought to, Lum. A fella your age. This ought to be a good lesson to you. Running with the wrong kind of company, that's what it is.
If you ever hear me using another one of them old lettered sayings again in front of you, I want you to whop me one.
I believe that was our ring there, wasn't it?
Might have been. Just stay where you're at. I'll get it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Might be your friend.
Your
friend, you know. Be sure and tell him to take the, you-know-what back, Lum.
The you-know-what?
Yeah, the H-O-R-S. Horse.
For goodness sake.
Take it back.
Hello, John 'em down store and library. L. Edwards, moving picture executive talking.
Straight and old Lum. I got him on the straight and narrow path again.
Oh, Doc Miller.
Doc Miller? So he's the one, huh?
What have you found out, Doc?
He'd be the last feller I'd ever suspicion of being a horse thief.
Well, I'll declare. Well, that's too bad.
Must have gotten caught. Got caught, sure.
Well, I sure hate to hear that, Doc.
He's got an automobile. I don't know what he wants with a horse in the first place.
Still unconscious part of the time, huh?
Horse is unconscious. Must have hit him in the head to take him over. Poor thing, don't know where he's at.
Uh-huh.
Doc Miller, of all people. him and his pills and subscriptions.
Well, you reckon we ought to take him to the hospital and have him weighed?
Hospital? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where they take him. Hospital if he's sick, I reckon.
Weighed, one of them Kodaks that takes pictures plumb through you.
What do you?
Huh?
A picture of a
Yeah,
horse.
X-ray, that's what I mean.
Oh.
How's that? Oh, well, if he don't want to go, I reckon we can't force him.
No, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Huh?
You don't think there's no bones broke, huh?
What do I mean by that? Bones broke? What's he been doing to that horse anyway?
Well, me and Abner will go over and see him and sort of cheer him up.
I don't know what you do to cheer a horse up. Sit there and tell him how pretty he is, how much he looks like Black Beauty.
Oh, don't think we ought to, huh?
Or he ought to be running in the Kentucky Derby or something. You could flatter him.
Well, let us know as soon as we can get over there, when he can have visitors.
Visitor? Be fine visiting a horse. Wouldn't know what to do if I got over. I couldn't sit there and talk to him. Of course, we could win him backwards and forwards, I reckon.
All right, Doc. Much obliged for calling.
Show him little old hay, kick the walls a few times.
All right. Much obliged for calling. Goodbye. Granny's Doc says Squire's in pretty bad shape.
Squire? Is that who you been talking about?
Well, sure. Doc says he's examined him good and can't find nothing wrong with him.
Oh?
He don't think there's no bones broke, but Squire lays there and moans and takes on something wonderful, he says.
Well, I do know.
Yeah, he ought to be took to the hospital in there at the county seat and be examined there, but Doc says Squire comes right out flat-footed and refuses to be moved.
Well, Lum, it don't look like he could have hurt himself that bad just falling in the aisle there.
Well, it's more than likely a concussion of the brains or something.
It is.
I feel bad about it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we ought to write him a little note of some kind and tell him how sorrowful we are.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Doc says he'd rather Squire wouldn't have no visitors for a few days.
Yeah, well, we can write him a note. Make him feel better, sort of cheer him up, you know.
That'll let him know we're concerned about it.
Why, sure.
Hand me that pencil there.
Yeah.
I'll just drop him a few lines right now. Or wait a minute, maybe a pen and ink would look better.
Yeah, ought to do it up fancy. The ink's right there by you, Lum. Right there by your elbow. Don't knock it over.
Yeah, see now. Dear Squire, hello, Squire. I'm trying to figure out how to start this out. Dear Squire, I reckon.
Yeah.
We're awful sorry you got hurt falling down in our theater last night.
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good.
We feel bad because it's our fault for not having more light in there so you could see where you was going.
Yeah. Take all the blame for it ourselves. That's the thing.
Anything we can do, be sure and let us know, because we feel responsible for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yours truly. Now, we both better sign this.
Yeah, sure. I'll sign it. Give me the pen.
Yeah, right there.
Abner.
That's nice. I believe this note ought to make him feel pretty good, Abner. Don't you reckon? Make him feel pretty good.